What's up, guys, and welcome to another episode of the Powerhouse Mentality Podcast. I'm your host, I'm Caitlin Kenna, and today, my dumb ass was smart enough to switch over mics so that it could actually record it through my fancy mic that I have, because the last episode of the podcast, the audio was a little bit off. The reason being is because, for some reason, I had it on a setting where the audio was being recorded through the laptop instead of the fancy mic that I have. So here we are, we live, we learn, and we move on. But sometimes you just gotta go with the material that you have, because I knew that I couldn't replicate the passion behind what the last podcast was about. I just felt like it was really good, and I didn't want to re-record it. So we're living, we're learning, we're moving forward, and we're starting fresh, guys. So today, really what we're gonna talk about, one of the topics that is near and dear to my heart, and I'll go into it a little bit more why, but it's about why. And the reason why I wanted to bring this topic up now is because in the Hidden Summit group, we just started a 9-week challenge. Actually, yesterday was day 1, and then the first form 8-week challenge starts on Monday. For those of you who don't know, I'm a nutrition, fitness, and mindset coach, and I coach people all year round, but we have a lot of different challenges that are meant to help people build habits, and we go through different phases, right? So the first thing that we always focus on in Hidden Summit is mindset, because we believe and we know through our own experiences that having a strong mindset is going to allow you to create the best and most beautiful life you possibly can. I know that when you have a shit mindset, usually your life kind of reflects on that mindset. When you have a positive perspective, when you have a great mindset, when you have a strong mindset, again, your life is going to reflect that, and you're going to see a lot better results when you have that strong mindset, because you're going to be able to push through when things get hard. And every single week in the Hidden Summit group for our 9-week challenge participants and for our Reach Your Peak participants who are paying for one-on-one coaching, we do mindset huddles. And in these mindset huddles, we talk about different topics that relate to mindset, that relate to personal development, that relate to helping you become the best version of yourself. If you guys want any more information about the Hidden Summit group or anything like that, I will put the information below in the show notes, and you can always shoot me a message on Instagram or through email, and I'll be more than happy to help you guys, because again, that's all that I want to do, help you guys. But we always start the challenges talking about why. Because if you've ever read the Simon Sinek book, Start With Why, and if you haven't, you should, it's powerful. And I want to go off a quote that my coach and my boss, Kevin, says all of the time. And it's funny because he said it last night on the call, and he said it many, many times over the last couple weeks. And then I was reading, I'm reading Jordan Peterson books, The 12 Rules of Life. Great book so far. And he actually quoted this as well in the book. And I was like, this quote is coming up multiple times for a reason. And I never really thought much of it until I really heard it last night on our mindset huddle. And then I read it again, and I started to reflect on how it applies to my life. So the quote is, "He who knows his why can bear almost any how." And it really got me thinking, because, I'll use an example that most of us can relate to. If somebody tells you, if your parents, right? Well, we'll use that example. When you were a kid, your parents would tell you to eat more vegetables, right? But they never told you why. So you never really cared enough to actually do it, unless, you were one of those weird kids who like their vegetables. I love vegetables now, but when I was a kid, I was not a fan. That's why Flintstone vitamins were my shit. But guys, the point that I'm trying to make is that if your parents sat down and explained to you, if you were able to understand it at that age, the actual benefits and the reason why they're telling you to eat your vegetables, because it's going to help you live longer, it's going to help you grow up big and strong, and you're going to be able to get enough micronutrients so your body works at an optimal level, and you were able to understand that as a child, then you would probably be more inclined to eat your vegetables. But you didn't know why, so you didn't really care. And that's the same thing that goes throughout our adult life. If we don't know why we're doing something, Yeah, maybe we'll do it, but we're probably not going to put as much effort into it unless we knew why we were doing something and we were emotionally connected to that reason why. So when it comes to, becoming the best version of yourself, because that's what we focus on here on this podcast, right? Is building a powerhouse mentality so you can have the best life possible and impact all of the people around you. All of you who are listening to this, you all have a goal, right? You have a goal, you're on a journey, you need to make a change, you've made the change, whatever it is, you have something that you are working towards right now. And when it comes to a goal, you can break it down into 3 things: the how, the what, and the why. Okay, and most people, this is how they look at their goals. They think about what they want, then they think about how they're going to get it, and then maybe they think about why they're doing it. And some people don't even connect with their why at all. They don't even consider it. They just say, for example, if you want to lose weight, well, I want to lose weight because I want to look hot. Well, why do you want to look hot? There has to be something deeper, right? Hey, we all want to look good, but why do you want to look good? It's going to be different for every single individual, okay? Nobody else can tell you what your why is. I, as a coach, I can help to steer my clients in the right direction towards their why, but I can't tell them what their why is, because then they're not going to be emotionally connected to it as much as if they were able to determine it on their own. Again, I'll lead them down that path, but they have to make that connection. So most people, they think about the what, the how, and then maybe the why. But that's a little backwards. What you should do is you should completely flip that process. And what you need to do is think about why you want to do this, why you want to make this change, why you want to start, why. Then think about how. Think about the process. Think about how it's going to happen one small decision at a time. Small things done consistently over time compound to create massive change. The how is the process. It's the day by day. It's the steps that it takes to get to the goal. It's brick by brick. Focus on the process, right? So you got why, you got the process, and then that goal, that big thing at the end, that just falls into place when you focus on the process and focus on connecting with your why. So people are paying way too much attention to the what and the how, but those are the most simple parts of this process. For example, if you want to lose weight, that's the what. You want to lose 20 pounds. Cool. You have a good idea of how to get there. All of us know what we need to do, right? Most of us just don't do it, or we make excuses, or we're just too fucking lazy to do it. The reason you're too lazy to do it is because you haven't connected with your why. So if you want to lose weight, you have to eat a little bit healthier, right? You have to clean up your diet a little bit. You have to eat more protein, drink more water, get some movement in. Probably shouldn't go to the drive-thru every day for lunch. Probably shouldn't eat all those cookies that you ate last night. Probably shouldn't make that a habit. But you understand what needs to be done. But here's the issue that most people have, is that they'll do it for 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks, and then they stop because it got too difficult, because it got too monotonous, because I didn't have time. Whatever the excuse is, they come up with some form of bullshit, and that bullshit prevents them from ever reaching that goal, when in all reality, there are thousands, hundreds, millions even, of people out there who have done exactly what you want to do with the same fucking bullshit that you tell yourself. But they did it. But how did they do it? They did it because they knew why they started. They connected to their why, and when they connected to the why behind why they're actually doing this, that allowed them to be committed. That allowed them to become fully invested in the how, in the process. Because when you know why, you become more committed. It helps you remain consistent when shit gets hard. Because I promise you, speaking from a fitness journey perspective, shit's gonna get hard. Shit's gonna get hard no matter what you're trying to accomplish in life. Life is hard. Life is tough. But when you know why you're trying to accomplish a goal, when you know why and you're emotionally connected to why, you will stay consistent through the hard times. And when you stay consistent through the hard times, you build discipline, you build positive momentum, you get stronger, you start earning confidence, and you start earning results, and you start getting closer to that goal. And then you start asking yourself, shit, what more can I do? What more am I capable of? That's how you create the life that you want. It all starts with why. You're too fixated on the process, you're too fixated on what you want, and you're not fixated enough on why you want it. And I can speak from myself. Guys, I don't do this podcast because just for the hell of it, right? There's a reason why I do this podcast. I do this podcast because I want to help impact more people. Why do I want to impact more people? Well, because I know what it feels like to feel like shit, to be so helpless. My eating disorder allowed me to literally hate myself and be unable to look at myself in the mirror. I wanted to die for a really good portion of my life, and I never actually got to live my life. I was on my deathbed. I could barely freaking live my life because I barely had the energy to do anything. I know what it feels like to be so low that you literally don't see a future. And I wouldn't wish that upon anyone. Anyone, even my own worst enemy. I don't hate people. Maybe I dislike people, but I don't have any worst enemies that I know of. If you are, please let me know. I would like to know who my enemies are. But, guys, the point is, the reason why I do this podcast, the reason why I coach people, the reason why I push myself every day, and why I invest so much time, energy, resources, and focus into my own personal development is because I know that if I become a better version of me, I'm going to be able to help other people become a better version of themselves, whether it just be through inspiring them or whether it be through coaching them, right? So we're only here for a short period of time, and my mentality towards that is I want to squeeze every little bit of potential out of myself and out of the world around me, and I want to leave this world a better place than where I came into it. That's my why. People ask me why I push so hard when it comes to work and why I'm always working is what they always tell me. I'm not always working. I'm fucking obsessed with becoming a better version of myself and helping other people become the same better version. It's fucking amazing. I wouldn't trade it for the world. I see the meme all the time where it's like, I gave up my 40-hour work week to work 24 hours a day. Damn straight. And I'll do it all of the time. So I grew up in a house where we didn't have a lot of money. We struggled. We were on food stamps. We got evicted from places. I dealt with drug addiction in my family. I dealt with a lot of bullshit that I don't want my family to deal with. So people call me obsessed. People call me crazy sometimes. But, obsessed is what it takes for me to build the best life for me and my family. And that's why I do what I do. It's not just for me. Yeah? Does it feel good when I'm able to accomplish the goals that I set out to accomplish? Fuck yeah. I wouldn't lie about that. But the reason it feels so good is because I know what it feels like to hit rock bottom and have everything taken away from me. I know what it feels like to not be able to get out of bed and not even be able to think about working out. So every fucking day I'm grateful for the opportunity to train, to become better. So really what I want you guys to reflect on, if you don't know your why, or if you struggle with consistency when it comes to the process, time to find your why. So what I want you to do, I want you to take out your phone when you're done with this podcast. Let me finish first, okay? When you're done with this podcast, I want you to take out your phone. I want you to record yourself talking about why you're trying to accomplish what you're trying to accomplish. It's going to be different for everyone, okay? You might be confused a little bit at first. You might not know what you want to say, but I want you to just speak from your heart, okay? Because the heart, that's where it lies. That's where that why is. You might cry. If you cry, that means that you've hit that why because you're emotionally connected to it. When I think about my why, I definitely cry. I definitely tear up a little bit because I love it. I love what I do. But I want you to record yourself talking about your why. I want you to save that video. And I want you to go back to that video when you're struggling, when you don't feel like doing it, when you start coming up with all these bullshit excuses on why you should take it easy today, or when you don't believe in yourself. Watch that why. And I want to take it one step further. I want you to also write down your why. And I want you to take a screenshot of it. And I want you to put it as the background of your phone. And I want you to print it out. And I want you to put it on the fucking fridge. I want you to see it every single day. I want every single day you to be reminded by your why. I know it sounds kind of crazy, but I promise you that it helps. I promise you that it helps. I'm telling you that from my own experience. Start with why. Focus on the process. And everything else will fall into place. You just have to be patient, be present, and be deliberate with everything that you do. So guys, if you found any value from this podcast, and I hope that you did, please share this with at least one person. Share it on your social media. Tag me. My Instagram is in the show notes below. I want to know what you guys think of this because I want to completely change so many people's perspective on life to help them become better. So if you can share this with one person who it's going to help, then I win. If this helped you and you're the only one, cool. I freaking won. So please do me a solid. Share the show if you found value. If you didn't, then whatever. Sorry that I didn't help you. But if you did, please share the show. And guys, go out today and do one thing that's going to take you one step closer to where you want to be.